Hello, everybody. Welcome to this session of a job profile for translators in the Translating Europe Forum. First of all, too, thanks to the organization of DGT for inviting me, specifically to Claudia Deutsch, that was the person contacting me first, and with Jael, that is on the background supporting this session. And also, I want to add, well, my sympathy for the casualties in the Valencia and other areas in Spain with the massive flooding that you'll know are a tribute to all people that are giving their helping hands there to try to mitigate the disaster. So that said, I will start with it. Well, when we thought of our translators some time ago, I must tell you that I have lived a life before Windows, so I'm very experienced for nearly have been in this industry for 40 years. So I have seen many things, and one of them was the image, the original image of the translators. That was something isolated, the typical writer too, and so on in black and white, as you can see here. But after a certain time, this black and white translator turned into a more colored scenario, as you can see here. And it's all about technology. Technology is the king in this process. So you will see here some images that was representing the state of the art at that moment. I started to translate in an Underwood, and all of a sudden the electronic typewriter appeared, and it was the ultimate thing, even with a key able to delete only the last character typed, but it was the state of the art. A few years after, in a very significant time, that it was 1981, the IBM PC appeared. This is the reason why we have a PC at home. Nearly everybody has it. No, well, in this case, it was accompanied by the first text editors. These text editors was a revolution too, because there was no need to use paper only at the end of the process when you wanted to print it out. And in parallel to that, localization, more or less as we know it now, appeared. And also in parallel with localization, the same happened with the first specific tools for the industry. I mean, the first computer tools, that is, the CAD tools. Well, following this process, it was nearly 10 years after. Following this process, the evolution went from the text editor to the full equipped workstations in which you could do anything as more or less we can do now. More evolved now, but it was the same idea. On the meantime, the internet had the power, was taking the lead of all communications. Before the internet, we use other systems. Perhaps some people could have heard about the CompuServe that was on the systems in parallel, but all of them disappeared. That's replaced by the internet. At the same time, also, once that everything was fixed, uh, machine translation was emerging with the first systems that was based on rules, or the afterwards not only these systems but also the statistic ones and the hybrid and so on. Only in a period of 10 years again. This led to the machine translation models as we know it and use it now. That is the neural machine translation. Also in parallel, more or less at this time, the clouding was another revolution in the way we were working, remote working even. And finally, last but not least, in a period of additional 10 years, large language models. And who knows what the future will come up. Then all of these little milestones were decisive in the history of language industry, because one of them represented the change of the profile of the professional translator, always accompanied by technology, as we can see. So, to sum up, we can see the language industry evolution in this image by Taus in the Nunc Stempus, in which you can see industry focus, type of content, languages, technology, and data, and how all of them have been evolving along the years with the different additions, technological additions to our desktop. As you can see, for instance, a type of content from paper to an unlimited format. Now we're dealing with any type of format in digital format, of course. So the revolution has been only in the 40 years, approximately. Right. If we see this image, it comes from the Common Sense Advisory, one of the most important advisors in this industry, and they use the term of augmented translator, and it's representing like this. Here you can see in the center, because it's centered in the humans, you can see the linguist. We will come back to this term afterwards, but this linguist is surrounded by technology, by different systems aimed at favoring the productivity in general and the communication with customers. Okay, always due to good practices and the appropriate approach. Remember, a machine can imitate Shakespeare's writing, but it does not have his talent. In addition, it is not a question of certainties and uncertainties. Not all is black or white, as there are many shades of gray, and it is the human that chooses one of these shades of gray, not the machine. This is the human factor, this man on the loop concept that you have seen somewhere, I'm sure, and this is extremely important for us. If we come back to the term linguist, Webster reads, a person accomplished in languages, especially one who speaks several languages, or the person who specializes in linguistics. Right, this is the traditional linguist definition. But when our customers request a linguist, they mean translator plus. Translator plus. This plus conveys localization, revision, review, engineering, testing, transcreation, project management, copywriting, DTP, data annotation, etc. So we should listen to your customer, or to our customer and our industry. This is extremely important to know what happens and what the customer and industry require from you, because it will be a competitive advantage. As to the expected profiles, as the title reads, the normal one, the usual one, position is in a translation or translator in a company or as a freelancer. If we go to SMEs, we have the intern, translator, localizer, reviser, reviewer, post editor. All these posts, all these jobs normally are covered in a small company with some limitations due to its size, of course. But if you go to big companies, to MLVs, you will find a lot of additional roles commensurate to the size of this company, right? But not also expected profiles, but let's say unexpected profiles within the industry or in other verticals. All of the images represent cases in which my former students in different universities are performing different roles. You can see academy, lexicography, public administration and agencies, tourism, police, dubbing studios, DTP, international relationships, commerce, protocol, testing, language forensics, um, air controllers, publishing houses, and most close to translation, post editing, transcreation, and also, last but not least, natural language processing and artificial intelligence. That is opening a myriad of doors to potential translators. Probably you know this masterpiece of theater called Waiting for Godot. Are you really waiting for Godot? Because Godot is not going to arrive. Perhaps it's you that should go for Godot yourself. Try to find your needs. Try to find your competitive advantage. Don't do what everybody tells you so. Do what you really need and according to your expectations. Uh, 2 weeks ago in Madrid, in the representation in Madrid of the DGT, we have a session in which we presented the latest Spanish market study that we did with two main associations of translation companies in Spain, Asproset and Neti. Your colleague in the DGT, Kalisa Vihonen, participated with an explanation of the situation in the industry in Europe, and added this slide in which she was talking about new language industry profiles. You can see here that most of them are coming out of artificial intelligence, that it's a reality. But not only that, if we go, this is the list, but you can add to this list all other potential positions for linguists, translators, philologists, call them as you will. All of them are real, are for real. People that I know that also they have worked in my company, and now they are working in other companies or freelancers, are taking these positions. So you can see that the universe of this is very wide, and you can find there your own space, and alone, etc. We don't know what the future technology will come out. Okay. Also, you should know your national and international industries to know what happens there, challenges, trends, facts, and figures. Here you have two interesting tools for free. One of them is the Ellis report that is done every year by the most important professional associations and the DGT too. You can take it for free from the Ellis website. And also, for instance, this is the report that we presented 2 weeks ago, as I tell you on the previous slides, in which there is a summary of the Spanish market. Use these tools, the international and the one appropriate for your country or for your locale or whatever, what you need, because you will find a lot of useful information there that could open your eyes to anything that perhaps you hadn't thought of. Probably you know the art of war of General Sun Tzu. There is a quote here reading, "Whoever is first in the field and awaits the coming of the enemy will be fresh for the fight. Whoever is second in the field and has to hasten to battle will arrive exhausted." Well, you should listen and learn. So try to be the first in that field. Listen to the industry for new technologies and jobs. Explore academic courses and also industry specialization courses. For instance, academic courses such as those post-graduation courses or graduation courses on the EMT network, and also in the private, let's say, academies such as Translation Technologies Academy with the localization school, and also courses organized by the professional associations. There you could find a lot of interesting hints for you. Don't stop to be up to date. Ongoing training is an absolute must for you. Create a professional network. Also create a portfolio and freelance experience for your reputation in industry so that uh, many people could know you through this. Finally, as recommendations, I would say that prepare yourself regardless of age and industry. Think of AI and technology as a factor, not an element, as a means, not an end. Any technological implementation should be based on good practices and a logical, customized approach. A one-in-all approach is not possible in this industry. Sometimes some customers could be misguided thinking that this is possible. So this is your task. Try to educate these customers that don't know how this industry works from the inside. Develop a critical thinking in AI and technology in general to know how it can help you or perhaps not. Make your own decisions. Normally, as as informed as possible. With the proper planning and the focus on retraining and skilling, automation can be very fruitful for you because you can transform your way of working to be more productive and even to get higher skill jobs and with better salaries. This is possible if you do it in a logical way, a sensitive way, sensible way. Your weights, dependency, and low technology problem can be fixed. You just need a strategy. That's all. These are my recommendations. You will see that many of these hints will be shared by most of the speakers talking about today, tomorrow, and the day after. If they talk about the industry and the potential roles, because it's shared. These trends and these issues are shared by anybody normally in the industry. So thank you very much for your attention. It has been a pleasure to talk to you. And now it's the time for questions and comments. And if it's not possible to do it like that in this time, you can email me at this address, and I will be very pleased to reply to your questions or comments or anything you could think that it's of interest for you. Thank you very much.